If you're cruising soon on Sun Princess, you may have heard that this ship is, well, a little bit controversial. Not only is the layout completely different from past Princess cruise ships, it wasn't entirely ready when it launched back in the spring of 2024. I've just returned from a 3-night media and travel agent sailing, and after visiting the ship in March over in Europe, before the entertainment and certain areas of the ship were fully up and running, I wondered if the ship would now be ready for guests when I was back on in October. Also, with a ship this different for Princess, I wondered if the cruise line was listening to guest feedback over the last 6 months about the restaurants, the entertainment, and just some general guest concerns. So today I'm going to share my perspective on how things have changed on Sun Princess, and at the end, I'm going to answer some viewer questions. Now, if you're not familiar, Sun Princess is Princess Cruises' newest ship, and it totally disrupts the norm, especially for those of you who have cruised with Princess before. It's Princess Cruises' first Sphere class ship, and it will be followed by the nearly identical Star Princess. Now, Sun Princess was voted the #1 mega ship by Condé Nast. It holds up to 4,300 guests, over 21 decks. It weighs in at over 177,000 tons, and it is the first LNG-powered Princess ship. Let's start with my review of the entertainment. When I first sailed on Sun Princess back in March, the ship was newly launched and there were really no main theater or dome shows. They were rehearsing, they were practicing, but nothing was really ready yet. So I couldn't report back on the entertainment at all. I could tell you that the dome and the arena areas were really cool. They looked so amazing and I was envisioning what would happen. But fast forward to my cruise in October of 2024 and the shows were absolutely up and running. In fact, on a 7-night sailing, you can probably expect about 3 production shows and 3 dome shows. And that's going to keep you pretty busy if you're cruising on Sun Princess. But don't worry, they offer multiple showings and different times with all of these shows. So hopefully, with little patience, you can hit most of them. Now, I didn't get to see them all. Remember, this was a short 3-night media cruise, but I can tell you I was incredibly impressed with the shows that I did see. Let's start with shows in the dome. Now, first, let me tell you what the dome is. It is this beautiful new vision that Princess had. It's up at the top of the ship, and it has this enclosed yet open to the outdoors sort of look. It's under this beautiful glass dome, and it has some tiered seating and a beautiful stage. And by day, it's not really an entertainment area at all. It's just a place to go and chill. They even have a pool that goes from the inside to the outside. So the show that I saw on this cruise was called Art Beat by Brito. And this was a collaboration between Cirque Gauloise and Romero Brito. This was a beautiful, colorful show filled with aerialists. And you guys, the dome location is amazing. But I have a hot tip for you. You really need to arrive early because the dome only holds a couple hundred people and it's going to fill up. Now, I don't want to ruin the show for you, but I got a couple of little snippets for you so you could take a peek at what it's really like, but I can tell you you're going to love it. It's incredible. Now let's move to the arena. The arena is an amazing theater in the round, a totally new concept for Princess, and there I saw a show called Viva la Musica. In my opinion, the show was absolutely incredible. The energy from the performers was high, the skill level was incredibly high, and at the end of the show, they actually invited the audience down onto the floor, which was crazy. So arena shows, let's talk about who they're good for. They're probably going to be good for people who get a little bit bored at a traditional cruise show because this show will definitely keep your attention. Also, if you like shorter shows, if you don't like the ones that drag on for an hour, these are great. And if you like more modern entertainment than Princess's traditional shows, you're going to love this. They are definitely stepping it up a notch. And these shows in the arena are definitely more contemporary. Now, some other cruisers that I had dinner with after the show, they did have a little bit of critique about Viva la Musica. And one of the critiques that they had, my friend said that she found that the accents were not very genuine. So the performers were like speaking in Spanish, but she could tell they were not really Spanish speakers. And to her, that made it a little bit less enjoyable. I also heard from some other cruisers that they loved the Legends show in the arena, but unfortunately, I missed that one. Now, if you've heard about entertainment on Sun, you've probably heard about Spellbound by Magic Castle. It is their collaboration with the Magic Castle in Hollywood, and I got to go with Princess to the Magic Castle in January and see the Magic Castle in real life. So I had a vested interest in seeing how they were going to pull this off. on Sun Princess, and this was my second time visiting. It was an absolutely incredible experience. I particularly love Mark Gibson's magic. He's a mentalist, and I really have no idea how he does what he does. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say the cocktails there are amazing. You guys, it's like a speakeasy private club vibe combined with a dinner experience. I didn't get to try the dinner, but it was just as good as it was before, if not even better, and it's such a vibe. Totally worth the money if you're sailing on Sun Princess. So overall, what were guests saying about the entertainment while I was on board? Keep in mind, again, this was media and travel agents. People were saying that they felt like Princess Live and O'Malley's need to be bigger. And I know that Princess has listened on at least one of those because they said that on Star Princess, they're going to make O'Malley's a little bit bigger. People also said that they loved the shows and the music and the entertainment in the piazza, especially the Cirque show, which had people on their feet applauding and just in awe. This was a real treat. In fact, I loved all of the entertainment in the piazza. Let's shift gears and talk about food. This is where Princess, I feel, really listened to guests, and they moved a lot of the dining venues around based on feedback. In October 2024, Sun Princess made lots of changes to restaurant locations on the ship. So first, they've relocated the Americana diner, which used to occupy the top of the main dining room. Now, they put that at the back of the eatery buffet on deck 9, which I think makes sense because it's a casual eatery. In fact, they really altered the whole dining room situation, which used to be called the Horizons main dining room. Now the Deck 8 dining room, formerly the Americana Casual Eatery, is the Sanctuary restaurant, reserved for Sanctuary Collection guests. The main dining room, in fact, has brand new names. The Soleil dining room on deck 6 is the largest dining room. It has beautiful windows, by the way. And this one serves like the traditional dining room stuff with early and late seating. The Eclipse dining room on deck 7 is a little bit more of a flexible dining restaurant. Now, Butcher's Block by Dario, formerly in the back of the eatery, is now down on deck 7 across from Princess Live. And if you don't know about Butcher's Block, it is an amazing concept by world's most famous butcher, Dario Cecchini, where he grills up all kinds of beef and steak. This is a multi-course beef dinner. They do have a vegetarian option, by the way, if you need one. Lastly, The Catch by Rudy is a specialty seafood restaurant by chef Rudy Sodeman. I just love Rudy. He's such a sweet guy. This restaurant also used to be at the back of the eatery, which was kind of a waste. It just felt like you were eating in the back of the buffet. But Princess did good. They moved it down to deck 7 midship. It's so much better. It's way more intimate, and it matches Rudy's menu and the service. I can't really comment on the main dining room or any of the poolside eateries because I didn't try any of those this time. So no MDR for me and no Lido slice, tacos, burgers, greens, any of the Lido stuff. But I did spend quite a bit of time in the buffet. So the cruise ship buffet on Sun Princess has been renamed and relocated. And most of Princess's buffets are up by the pool deck, Lido deck, right? But not on Sun. They relocated this when they built the ship. It's now on deck 9, and it's called the Eatery, and it still has various different stations and specialties for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's full serve, and I absolutely was impressed with what they've done with the Eatery. It's really large, and there's so much to choose from. A Princess favorite, International Cafe. It's still there. It's still rocking. It's right by the eatery, and it has snacks. It's a 24-hour venue. It has coffee. It has a full bar. Lots going on there. A great place to grab a bite, and you have to try the little pizza muffin type things. I think they're called pizza bites, but just trust me, look for them and try them. Now let's talk about Love by Brito. This is a collaboration with Princess and Romero Brito, and I have to tell you guys, it has the most incredible location and views. Now, unfortunately, Love by Brito does not work with your Princess Plus or Premier package, and it is pretty expensive. So if you have a romantic occasion that you're celebrating on your cruise, I recommend that you reserve Love by Brito and enjoy the cocktails, enjoy all the love-themed things. Again, this is one of those things I don't want to spoil too much, but trust me, it's romantic, and it really has the best views on the entire ship. We also tried Sabatini's, the traditional multi-course Italian dinner. That was fantastic, as always, on Princess. Now, something that was totally new to me was the Sanctuary Collection restaurant, which I got to try for breakfast and dinner because I was staying in a Sanctuary Collection mini suite. I got to tell you, this was a wonderful enhancement. The food at dinner and breakfast was exceptional. I had the best lobster tail I've ever had on a cruise at the Sanctuary Collection restaurant. And we're going to talk about the Sanctuary Collection a little bit more in a bit, but just trust me when I tell you the food is excellent. If you're reserving into the Sanctuary Collection, you're going to be spoiled. A new concept on this ship is Makoto Sushi. Chef Makoto Okuwa, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, brought his 25 years of experience to Sun Princess, and he has this amazing sushi restaurant that's very playful, but it's also just incredibly exquisite presentation, very traditional Japanese sushi with some beautiful sakes and drinks to go with it. If you're a sushi lover, you're definitely going to love Makoto, and it's a beautiful location right there in the piazza. Now, there's some new events that take place in the Good Spirits Bar. You all remember the Good Spirits Bar from past Princess ships. It usually is like off of the piazza somewhere, maybe by the International Cafe, but now it's in its own separate location on Sun Princess. The first special event that they're now offering is a wine tasting by Gerard Bertrand. He's a winemaker who has made wines in the south of France for more than 40 years, and that's a nice experience. I personally didn't love the wine. I'm not sure why, but I thought the experience was really great. So if you like French wine, give it a try. Don't let my opinion about the wine itself color yours. Also in Good Spirits, the tea experience. Now this is a fun one. Former chef to the royal family, Darren McGrady, welcomed us on big screens to a true British afternoon tea. Now Darren was a personal chef to lots of different royalty figures, including Princess Diana and Princes William and Harry. Plus, he served 5 US presidents. So let me tell you, this guy has some stories to tell, but it's a lot of fun. We got to meet him on the media sailing, and we learned about the history and etiquette of tea, down to how to stir a cup of tea. We learned about the art of making tea and the royal family's favorite teas and snacks. But most importantly, we learned how to properly eat cream and jam. According to this chef, you are never supposed to cut the scone with a knife. You're supposed to do it the Devon way, which is very interesting. So personally, I liked this tea experience. I wish they had a few more sandwich selections, but the scones and sweets were really good. Let's shift gears and talk about my stateroom. Princess put me in a Sanctuary Collection mini suite this time. It was awesome. It was very large. It had a big balcony, a sitting area. It was cozy. The bed was amazing. The storage was amazing with their new closets with the frosted glass and the lights inside. There were bathrobes and slippers in there. And of course, they had dry bar hair dryers in there. The only bummer about the room is it didn't have a bathtub. And that's one thing I love about Princess Mini Suites. So if you're wondering about these Sanctuary Collections rooms, what happened is Princess totally got rid of the Reserve Collection concept and replaced it with the Sanctuary Collection. So the Sanctuary Collection is basically a collection of suites and balconies and mini suites, kind of like a ship within a ship, but without the butlers that other cruise lines offer. In fact, their president said, "We are trying to go for a ship within a ship thing here." The full suites, which I did not stay in, they have access to the Sanctuary Suite Lounge. And all of the other rooms have access to the Sanctuary Restaurant and the pool area, which they call the Sanctuary Club. And as part of getting a cabin or purchasing into the Sanctuary Collection, you actually get the Premier package. So the way that this isn't a ship within a ship is that the staterooms aren't like in a locked separate complex like some other cruise lines with their ship within a ship concepts, but it comes pretty close. Now, that Sanctuary Suite Lounge I mentioned earlier, that's only, as we mentioned, for folks who are in full suites. That part of it actually is kind of a ship within a ship and has really beautiful views and a quiet vibe. So my opinion about this whole Sanctuary Collection thing, the Sanctuary Restaurant is a huge perk, as is the fact that you get a included Premier package and access to the pool area, which is very private and nice. If you can afford it, it will enhance your cruise. But I gotta tell you, the pool areas outside of it, all around Sun Princess, are so generous and beautiful. I think you'll enjoy even if you don't book into the Sanctuary Collection. I know I would. Let's answer some questions from our audience. How was the ship layout on Sun Princess? I gotta tell you guys, it was confusing for me to navigate. And I think part of that is because my brain is wired. As an old school Princess cruiser, I've been on all those other ships. I still, after having been on Sun Princess twice, I have a hard time navigating once I leave my room. Now, once I'm in the public areas like the piazza and down there with that kind of atrium area as my guide, I'm okay, but I have a hard time navigating it. I don't know what it is. I had a lot of people tell me the same thing, but otherwise, the ship is so beautiful. It's got so many places to look out, to see the ocean, to see your destination, and I love that about it. How is the buffet on the lower deck? I've actually grown to really like it. I've found that maybe you're hanging out down in the piazza, you want to grab a bite. You don't have to go all the way up to the pool deck to enjoy that. And I am really learning to love the buffet on Sun Princess. What are some of my favorite spots on the ship? Oh, I have to say the aft pool deck is absolutely beautiful. It has that little infinity pool. It's a little bit weird because you can see people's bodies in the infinity pool from the entrance side of it, but it's kind of cool. I love the location of Love by Brito, which I mentioned earlier. I absolutely love the piazza, and I absolutely love the Good Spirits bar, and I am very much a fan of the Crooners Bar. I think it's a fabulous location. I love all their drinkware. I love the vibe there, and I think that they're doing a really good job. What's going on with Park 19? Well, nobody really knows, but if it's any indication of what's going to happen with Star Princess, they're probably going to put some kind of a sports court up there, maybe some pickleball, something like that, but they did scrap some of the more active types of attractions up there, and they're changing it, and we're waiting. Does Sun Princess have laundromats like the other ships? Yes, they do, and they are amazing. They have irons, they have washers, dryers, detergent, and when I was on it, it was free. I don't know if that's going to stay that way, but it was really nice to have access to a laundromat. Is the Sanctuary mini suite worth it? If you're looking for a little bit more of a quiet vibe, and you really want to have access to that quiet pool, and you're going to use the Premier package if you can afford it and you want to book into it, I think it's a wonderful concept. But I don't think that booking into it is going to necessarily make or break a cruise experience, because I think Sun Princess is a very luxurious ship. So what are my closing thoughts in general? How did Princess do? How is Sun Princess kind of evolving as she's 6 months old now? I was blown away. I think Princess has done an incredible job. The entertainment was so elevated and so much more modern and thoughtful than some of the other Princess cruise ships I've been on now. I still love Princess entertainment. And to be honest, I prefer the older Princess ships, like way older, the traditional ones with the enclosed pools. But I think Sun Princess is a beautiful ship. I think it's an incredible ship for someone who's never been on a Princess cruise or who's been waiting for Princess to innovate. I think it's great for families. Now, if you're traveling with kids and you're looking for outdoor things for them to do and attractions and stuff like that, there's really not a whole lot other than the kids clubs and the pool and the jogging track and stuff like that. But maybe if they convert that upper level to some kind of a sports court like they have on the other ships, there will be enough for kids, teens, families to do. But I was blown away, and I would absolutely book my family on a Sun Princess cruise. So those are my thoughts, friends. We have so much more to offer you with regard to Sun Princess. Down in the description of this video and pinned to the top of the comments, you're going to find a Princess Cruises packing list. You are going to see a recent video where you can see some outfits and cruise essentials I took on Sun Princess. You're going to find my Sun Princess highlight from Instagram with lots of little video clips. You can listen to my podcast review with Doug Parker, and you can check out my stateroom mini tour on YouTube, as well as a full deluxe balcony tour, which I stayed in last time. Let me know if you're booked on Sun Princess and what you're most excited about down in the comments. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye-bye.